website right now and download my free course on alternate picking mastery. It contains 5 essential exercises that will take you to alternate picking mastery faster than you can imagine. And then I've included my method of how to lay out a practice plan in just 1 to 2 minutes that will absolutely boost your results like nothing you ever tried before. So go download it right now. It's free. Hey, what would you tell me if I was, eating a cake, and then I said, that's good. How long have you been, putting that in the oven? It must have been in there for like 10 years, so good it is. You wouldn't think I was making any sense, right? But that's how we think. When we think about guitar skills, the first thing we think about is how much have you been practicing and for how long have you been practicing? We don't think about the ingredients that goes into the cake, the specifics of that guitar playing cake. We just think about, we can see there's a cake and it's been in the oven for X amount of time, and so the more it's in the oven, the better it becomes. That's absolutely untrue. Just get that. It's absolutely untrue. And here's my postulate, that it doesn't take 10 years to achieve great skills on this instrument. In fact, if it takes you 10 years, you will never get there. How does that relate? Because it never takes 10 years, because you have to have intensity in order to get there. And, practicing a little each day for 10 years or 20 years, 30 minutes, doesn't give you intensity of any kind. It's the opposite. It's spreading out the energy, right, over such a long distance that it won't really make any difference. So you will never get the cake out of the oven, basically. It's not about time. It's about how you practice. It's about how you focus, as we've been talking about in so many of these YouTube videos. And if you have that time thing in your head, you're just going to think, okay, I'm on level 2 now because I've been playing for 2 years. If people ask you, oh, so you've been playing guitar. Okay, for how many years have you been playing guitar? That's absolutely irrelevant. Of course, if you say 1 week, we kind of know where you are. But once you get to a certain stage, it doesn't matter if you've been playing for 10 years or 10 months, basically. Because it's intensity and it's passionate, right? There are so many factors that goes into building this, and time is just one of them. But it's not like the longer time you've been playing guitar, the better you are. Of course not, right? You just look around. You see, okay, then, these top players must be 10 times as good now or twice as good because now they've been playing for twice that long as when they started. That's not the fact, isn't it? The fact is that they had immense intensity when they learned to play guitar. They played all the time in front of the TV, if they had one, or the radio, when they were eating dinner, never separating from their instrument unless they had to. When they came home, when they were sleeping, just all the time, intensity. And you don't need to do that all the time. You just need to have periods of high intensity in order to really make a difference in your brain and get those patterns in there. So when people ask me, why do you have over 250 hours of programs on your website? Why are you doing this many videos? It's because it's inspiration. We need passion. We need intensity. We need to be fired up about this. We need to, there seems to be like there's a body of knowledge out there. You want to learn to play guitar. There are certain things you need to know about that, and then you can progress from A to C, following the same path that everyone else follows. And then the ones who actually get to where they want to go are the ones we call talented. The rest are just us mortals. And that's the thing I'm trying to, punch in the gut. It's the thing I'm trying to kill. That, it's a fixed body of knowledge. You have to go do this first, and then you do. And that's just, what I'm into is power learning, right? It's about learning, being all, enthusiastic about it and thinking about learning, thinking about how can I get there faster. It's like playing for real. Most people, when they play guitar or take it up, they dabble with it, like kicking the ball around on the playing field. They don't count how many goals they have. They don't really, the rules are like, okay, the playing field is about here, right? And that's not as engaging and fun and motivating and just, like just counting the scores and just getting all in there, getting all, sweaty and you hurt yourself, but you love it Because it's a game when you're counting, you're trying to get there, right? You're trying to get those skills and be able to create that magic. That's the place. And that's not, okay, you learn to play these chords and then you learn to play the first position blues. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to use your human capability, your frontal lobes, to do better than that, right? Get in there. And that's why I really, if I had that resource when I was starting out, like, one YouTube video each day and one Instagram lick and, just bam, just overwhelm me with inspiration and insights. And I would have absolutely loved that. So that's why I'm creating it today. And you can attack the same thing, like learning skills, from a multiple array of angles. And you can create all kinds of cool system of learning that can get you there faster. Right? So it's not just, here are the scales. We divide them up into cage shapes or 3-note string scale shapes. And then you learn those. You play them up and down enough times. And then eventually you'll all come together in this magical, fantastic playing style. But it never does, unless for a select few who are lucky enough to do the right things in the right order. What about the rest of us, right? And that's what I'm all into. That's why I repeat myself by focusing on the same things over and over again. That's why I create systems of learning and all of that. So there you have your answer. And it's an answer to many things, of course. But it's not time. Right? Time is, of course, but that's just the superficial reason we see for our skills all the time. There's so many things goes into that equation, and some people just get it right? Those are the top players who we all look up to. But let's decode that. Let's figure out what they did intuitively to get there, so we can do the same things. Because not everyone is lucky to run into the right kind of passion, the right kind of focus, the right kind of intensity in your practice schedule. And so we're just left with whatever the culture tells us. Yeah, you practice this. You need to know about this. This is music theory. This is the tonic. This is the subdominant. These are modes. Right? Boring as H, So we need to investigate and rediscover what that is really about, in order for us to learn like crazy. And when you're passionate and all fired up and you suddenly understand it, then what can I do with this? I can really learn to do this. I can really play like the best. Just imagine having that kind of ability, that skill, being able to play that solo and be all, just relaxed and free it's wealth. It's like magic, right? And it's uniquely human. It should be in the law of every country, right? That you have to do that in some area of your life. Otherwise, you're wasting your life. That's what you are, in my perspective anyway. So time is just a little factor. There are so many other things to focus on in order to get there. Subscribe for more free videos. Do it. Do it now. Do it.